The PlayStation Store is currently running their year-end sale right now. This sale lasts until December 23rd. However, I would have to think that there's going to be another sale that's going to kick off either somewhere in between this sale or right after this sale concludes, just because it just seems absolutely insane and a complete missed opportunity to not be running a sale during Christmas Day. I mean, come on, a bunch of people are going to get like PlayStation Store cards for Christmas. You might as well put a lot of games on sale, and Sony MO all year has been having concurrent sales running. Nevertheless, what we can talk about is the year-end sale, as that is live right now, and we are going to talk about some games under the price of $5. Some of them are even a little bit cheaper, but without further ado, let's get right into it. And I want to kick things off with a game that I constantly talk about whenever it is available for a good price, and that is Sleeping Dogs, the Definitive Edition. This is a game that came out all the way back in 2012 or 2013, and it's a game published by Square Enix, and it is such a great game. You know how Square Enix has been doing all of these new IPs like Left Alive and Quiet Man, and they've all been complete bombs? Well, Sleeping Dogs was a great one. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, it never went on to have multiple games or anything like that. And we just got this one entry, and it was a great title. Some people back in the day said it was Grand Theft Auto in Hong Kong, and it really wasn't that. I get the idea of it being like an open world crime game, but really, Sleeping Dogs had more of a core focus on its hand-to-hand combat and things like that, and it had a more mature story, and I really enjoyed the story of Sleeping Dogs. I thought it was rather engaging, thought the characters were great, and I thought there was a lot of potential to really explore Wei's story going forward, even after this game. Enough me crying about the, lost opportunity of a sequel. Who knows, Square Enix might do that someday. $4.49 for this title is so good. The Definitive Edition also obviously improved visuals and DLC content, so that's great. Next up, I do want to give a shout to Batman the Telltale series. Actually, we're going to give a shout to two Telltale games. With Batman the Telltale series, this is definitely not the best Telltale game. This is one that actually quite often gets swept under the rug, but someone like me that is a big fan of Batman, I did have some fun with it. I thought episode 1, that was rather hard to get through, but after that, I got more and more into Batman the Telltale series. Season 2 is a lot better, in my opinion. The Enemy Within, I believe, and I would highly recommend you to try that. But Season 1 also offers a good time, and for $4.49, I do think it's quite good. Okay, moving on from that, The Evil Within is $4.99. Evil Within obviously has a sequel as well, Evil Within 2, and Evil Within 2 is a significantly better game. However, it's not available for under $5, so if you want to go the cheaper route, Evil Within 1 is still absolutely worth a playthrough. I thought Tango Gameworks did a good job with this one. Quality survival horror title. Again, Evil Within 2 definitely takes the first game and makes it, does what a sequel should do and makes it a lot better in just about every area, but $5 for the first one I still think is a worthwhile playthrough. And then when the second one's a bit cheaper, you can check that out as well. But both of them are good games. Evil Within 1 for just $4.99 I think is a great pickup though. Next up, we know that Tarsier Studios is going to be putting out Little Nightmares 2, so why not go back and check out Little Nightmares 1? And this is a game that a lot of you guys might have missed out on. It came out back in, I want to say, 2017, 2016, and it has you immerse yourself in a very, very dark world. If you want to talk about an atmospheric game, Little Nightmares definitely has that. It's a horror title, however, in the idea of a platformer puzzle hybrid, it is a little bit different of a horror title. Definitely a very dark game, and the game was received incredibly well, and even though it got that solid and strong reception, it seemed to have not really resonate at a more mainstream level. And yeah, I could understand it was a more low-key release. It's not like it had this crazy marketing push and it was a budget title, but hey, it did well enough for Bandai Namco and Tarsier Studios to justify a sequel, and we will be getting Little Nightmares 2 in 2021, so go back and play the first one at $4.99. Think that's a solid pickup as well. Alright, next up, Tomb Raider the Definitive Edition is down to $2.99. You guys know me, love me some Tomb Raider since 2013 with the reboot. I think Tomb Raider 1, Tomb Raider as far as the new trilogy goes, I think this one was great. Not quite as good as ROTR, but it really set the foundation of what ROTR and SOTR ultimately became. This is a game that I think it's a great pickup and play, and you can literally burst through it in one sitting if you want. Just one evening, if you have it to yourself, you want to play a quality game that's a lot of high-octane action, and really, the pacing is solid. Tomb Raider is obviously a great pickup. A lot of comparisons to Uncharted can obviously be made with this one, and I know Tomb Raider is a lot of a historic franchise than Uncharted at this stage of the game. I mean, what, Tomb Raider goes back to the 90s, but you get the idea. If you enjoyed the Uncharted games, you're gonna like Tomb Raider. Platforming's great, gameplay's solid, and story's pretty good as well. I thought that's where SOTR kind of really fell off. But Tomb Raider's a quality game that you could probably complete in 6 to 7 hours, and that's even, you know, taking your time. It's not like you go too far off the beaten path with this one. Rise of the Tomb Raider is kind of where you really have the opportunity to do that in SOTR as well. This one more of a linear experience with some, you know, hidden stuff here and there. But $2.99 for this, I think, is great. Alright, off the top, I did mention I was going to mention 2 Telltale series. The other one, Wolf Among Us, is 75% off for $3.74. Look, when I talk about Telltale, Wolf Among Us is the top game I mentioned. I think Wolf Among Us is number 1, then probably Walking Dead, and then Tales from the Borderlands. But the Wolf Among Us is tremendous. What an engaging main character. What a great world. And not only the main character, there are a lot of characters in this game that you become rather fond of, and the presentation is great. Wolf Among Us is just tremendous. And a lot of my buddies I got on the Wolf Among Us, and now they agree with me, it's the best Telltale game. A lot of people know Telltale for Walking Dead, and fair enough, Walking Dead was tremendous. But in my humble opinion, I really do think Wolf Among Us is on another level, and you're talking about somebody that damn near cried at the ending of the Walking Dead Season 1. We don't need to get into spoilers of what happened, but you guys know if you know. The Wolf Among Us is great. Let's see if they can parlay that success into the subsequent title. Wolf Among Us 2 is obviously going to be happening. That's the difference with Walking Dead. Walking Dead has had this history of so many seasons. Wolf Among Us, we've gotten one great season. Let's hope they can parlay that into more success with the second season, and hopefully much more after that. Alright, next up, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, 80% off for $3.99. Now, Mirror's Edge Catalyst is probably one of my most disappointing games of, I guess, last generation? Are we calling it last generation? Yeah, I guess last generation. Just because I was such a fan of Mirror's Edge when it came out back in 2008, and when they announced a follow-up, expectations were through the roof, much like another game that I'm going to get to in just a little bit. But Mirror's Edge Catalyst, if you go back and play it, just dropping $4, put your expectations aside, at least at this point. A lot of you going into Mirror's Edge Catalyst probably never even played the 2008 game. I mean, how are you on the PlayStation 3 gonna even play it? But if you go into it expecting something, you know, completely new, I think you are gonna have a good time with Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Is it a perfect game? Absolutely not. But at $4, I do think it's a good pickup. By the way, you can sign up to EA Play, the subscription service, and you can get this as a part of the Vault lineup, so that's something to think about as well. Next up, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Another game that, not as big of a disappointment to me as Mirror's Edge Catalyst, but also a disappointment just because I was such a big fan of Deus Ex Human Revolution. I thought that game was just tremendous. Mankind Divided has a lot of things to like. From a gameplay standpoint, it is a step up from Human Revolution. Narrative-wise, Human Revolution, the much stronger game, but Mankind Divided is still really good, and at $4.49, again, if you go into the game without the grandiose expectations that I had, you're probably gonna really enjoy it. I wish the performance was a little bit better. That leaves a little bit to be desired on the PlayStation 4, but nevertheless, for $4.49, it's great. Hopefully, at some point, Square Enix decides to go back to Deus Ex, because I think there's still a lot left in the tank, and the demand for Deus Ex is still going to be there, so let's hope that does come to fruition at some point. But yeah, check that out for $4.49. Lastly, I talked about crying during The Walking Dead Season 1. How about Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons? This is a game that is notorious for making people a little watery, and it is 75% off for $4.99. A game where, yes, you do play as a pair of brothers, and it is a very, very emotional journey. You set out on a journey, and yeah, it's just an emotional ride. I think everybody that talks about Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, and this is a game that released a long time ago, was on the PlayStation 3, 360, I believe, PC. PC is where I initially played it, but yeah, when everybody talks about this game, it's usually about how moving of a game it is, but also from a gameplay standpoint, it's a perfectly suitable game. It's a quality adventure title, but really a very, very emotional title, and I would give it a strong recommendation at just $5. So check that out as well, because this is a game that maybe nowadays, in 2020, it's not a game that a lot of people talk about, but on sale, if you never checked it out, do play it, because I think you're going to be in for a pretty good experience. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, quite a few deals, a part of the year-end sale. This is going to last until the 23rd. Probably going to do maybe another 2 videos covering it, because I wanted to highlight some games that were super, super cheap. Maybe you guys are on a tight budget, given that Black Friday just came and gone. Maybe you bought a lot of gifts for, you know, your family. I did hear there's a little holiday coming up soon where you are required to gift people things, so yeah, maybe you guys are on a tighter budget, so thought I would go over some games under the price of $5. That's gonna wrap up this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.